Hey everyone, my name is Prism, and welcome back to another video. So, I just got back around 15 to 20 minutes ago from seeing Fantastic Four First Steps. And I will say, immediately, this is the best Marvel film of the year. I think this has emotional depth, I think this has action, great editing, visual effects, music, acting from all the actors and actresses. I think this is an amazing film. I think Marvel got the Fantastic Four right. I joked that before the film came out, if it's anything better than the 2015 film, we're in good hands. And it was better than any of the other Fantastic Four films. You really get a sense that the actors here are a family, and you really get a sense that Marvel was going for that aspect of them being a family. Every character gets a chance to shine. You have Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, Invisible Woman, and Human Torch. You have all these characters, and they all work well together. You really get the sense that they're this family, that they're this team of heroes. And maybe it's a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but we don't start with an origin story. This isn't like going to the very beginning, seeing them all become this team. Like, we do start a while after they've started being the Fantastic Four. And, you know, you would think, well, is that the right direction for Marvel to go? But they do it in a great way. They do it where, if you don't know who the Fantastic Four are, you get to know them by the end of the film, you get a little bit of their history, you're dropped right into the action. I mean, there's quite a bit of setup, you know, characters talking, like, you have to meet these people a little bit, but the film really gets what's important. It really gets this feeling of fast pace and entertainment without ever losing the vision. And I would say this film and Thunderbolts are two of the best MCU films we've had in a while, visually and quality-wise. But, like, the Fantastic Four First Steps itself has beautiful shots. There's one shot in the trailer even of, like, Sue Storm with the baby crib, and just the lighting in the scene. Like, everything is so well put together. This is a film where you can tell Marvel did not do a lot of last-minute changes and reshoots. You can tell that they made the movie, they had a vision for it. I'm sure there were some little rewrites, but you can really feel like Marvel knew what they were doing. You can really feel like Marvel had a full plan. They let the director do what they were going to do, but it was still kept in the MCU formula. And that's not a bad thing. It gets the good parts of the MCU right. The humor, the action, the set pieces, the scale, the scope, the music, editing. There's a lot in here. It's just an awesome film. It is really well done. I think all the actors do a great job. I'm gonna forget some names, but, like, you know, the two main Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, and Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, they're played brilliantly by Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby. And I know a lot of people are like, why are you casting Pedro Pascal in another project? I get that too, but he does a great job. He feels like a proper dad in this film. He doesn't feel typecasted. He feels perfect for the role. And, you know, if he's great at what he's doing, then I think why not cast him in more roles? Like, he's in Star Wars, he's in Marvel, maybe he'll end up in DC, but if he's great at it, you know what? I don't care. But they do a really good job with all of the Fantastic Four characters. You have Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, and I forget his full name, but, like, Ebon as The Thing. They all fit. They all do a really good job feeling like they're this big family and like they all fit in together. They just do an immaculate job. And I forget his name too, but you have, like, Ralph as Galactus. His full name is in the film credits, obviously. But he is great as Galactus. He feels like a Thanos. And I'm honestly curious why they didn't make him the villain of Doomsday. Why didn't you do that, Marvel? Because, like, he's set up so well. He's, like, menacing. He's impactful. And you have to remember, this is his first film. This is the first Fantastic Four film with Galactus, first time with him in the MCU. And it works so well. You also have Julia Garner as Silver Surfer, and she brings a different sense to it. The last one that I remember seeing was the guy who plays Morpheus in the Matrix. Forget his name, but, you know, him back in 2007 for Silver Surfer. Like, this is a different Silver Surfer. This is a really well done Silver Surfer. They really care about everything in here. You really get a sense that they care. Like I said, the direction, the music, the action. Oh my goodness, there are some action scenes in here. And one of the things that helps the action scenes is they build up stakes to what's going on. So it's not just, let's fight this character or let's try to evade this character. They put the characters in a situation where there's a time limit, where they have to evade for some purpose, and that makes the action more thrilling. Because it's not just about, oh, we need to run away. It's about, there's a time limit we have. We have to do this, or this thing is going to happen. Like, we have to run, or we have to fight, but there's a deeper stake to it. There is something emotional about it. There is something going on. But like I said, all of the main cast are awesome. The film is awesome. I mean, it's a little bit slow at first, and I'll admit, it's not the way I expected them to open the film, but it works. You really get the sense that this film was made for everybody. If you don't know who the Fantastic Four are, well then, welcome. Here's their first time. If you do, then they don't spend too long on the origins. They really get into it. They really just kind of say, hey, here's the information you need to know. Here's what's going on. We're going to do this. They kind of throw you into everything, but you feel like you have a sense of direction of knowing what's going on. And it's just really refreshing that Marvel are doing this. And I kind of like the idea of, well, if you don't need the origin story, you don't do the origin story. Like with Superman, they didn't do that either. They're like, everyone gets it. We'll put in the basics in here, you know, when it comes to Fantastic Four, if you don't know it, especially because this is the only good Fantastic Four film. But they do really make it like, okay, here's your menu. Okay, take it. We're done. Like, they get you in and out of there in terms of information you need. There's just some villain sequences in this film. I'm not going to spoil everything, but I will say this. There is a sequence with Julia Garner's Silver Surfer that is some of the best action in the MCU in a long time. Thrilling action, fast-paced, just immaculate visual effects. You can tell Marvel were not giving a lot of reshoot notes. I'm sure this film had some reshoots. I'm sure there were some little changes. But you really get a feeling that Marvel knew what they were doing with this. They got this right. This didn't feel like, you know, a paid job or anything. This felt like they really cared. And this film was announced all the way back in 2021. We officially got a confirmation that it was happening. And it's been around 5 years since then. Almost 5 years. And you feel like we built up to this. You really, really feel like Marvel knew what they were doing. And it's just so awesome that Marvel really knew how to put this together. That you just watch this and you're like, I get it. I get what's going on. It was so awesome. It was just really cool. Yeah, like I said, I think everything works for this film. They have some character stuff. They give some characters some depth. There's some ideas they put in here. There's some things they try. This film doesn't play it safe. I'll just say this. Something unexpected happened, and I thought they were going to cop out of it. And they technically do, but they cop out of it in a way that I didn't expect. I will say that. Like, Marvel really went for it. There are some crazy ideas in here, but you feel like they had a purpose, like they had a vision. This film was awesome. I have to say Fantastic Four First Steps is like a 9.5 out of 10. I would, you know what? I'd say like a 10 out of 10. I don't know what I would change about this film. I don't. I mean, there's teeny tiny things, but it just feels perfect. It's so much fun. It's so easy to watch. You don't feel like you're cringing every 5 seconds from a bad joke. And I will say this film doesn't have a lot of humor in it. There's a little bit of humor, but it's very much a film that puts the action and the seriousness, the tone, before the humor. It puts maturity and, a serious storyline before humor. And, the humor is very minimal, and it's actually really refreshing when a lot of recent MCU films have had really bad humor. Thor: Love and Thunder, things like that. Like, even the Marvels. I think the last film with really good MCU humor was Deadpool and Wolverine. But even that film, it's Deadpool, so it can be a little bit more just dumb with its humor. Like, I really like this film. I really like the Fantastic Four First Steps. Please go see it in cinemas if you can. It is really worth your time. And I hope there's another one. You know what? I heard this film was not doing well at the box office. And it's really unfortunate to me, but I think the fact is Marvel has to be at Phase 1 again. That's where Marvel is right now. They are at Phase 1, trying to build up an audience of trust. They lost a lot of trust, and they have to build that back up. But if you keep making projects that people keep loving and are really well done, eventually people are going to come back. And maybe it'll take till after Secret Wars. Maybe it will. But if you can give people a really great story and really great directors and things like that, where you feel like Marvel are giving vision, they are allowing some creative freedom, but they're also not letting you go too far, like Taika Waititi with Thor 4, you will get your audience. This was awesome. I really, really liked this film. It was great. Great job, Marvel Studios. A serious 10 out of 10 for the Fantastic Four First Steps. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please check the description down below for any affiliate links. Please stay to the end card if you're interested at my other social pages. Thank you guys, and bye for now!